Hello, Periscope. It is Ebony. Hello. Sorry about that. The light's right behind me. I want to get this clear for you guys. I just wrapped my public speaking class with my kiddos here. I have third grade through sixth grade that I teach public speaking and speech and debate to each Thursday, and I love it because they are awesome kids. I'm gonna turn this around just so I don't have that light in my face so you guys can see clear. There we are. But I get asked all the time as the $1 billion brand consultant, host, speaker, and hair model, what is it that makes me a brand? What are the 3 basic things that I need? And I always tell clients or those who I ask, look, this is what you need. You need these 3 things. You guys ready? All right. Let me make sure the notifications are turned off here. There we are. Okay, so number 1 is a website. When I first started this journey as a national brand ambassador, I was asked a billion times over, where's your website? Do you have a website? If that could have come in any form or fashion, it probably would have blew my mind. But everybody asked the same question. Hi, what's your name? Hey, Faces by Keita, thanks for joining me. What's your name? I'd say Ebony, and they say, oh, do you have a website? Not a business card, but do you have a website, right? We determined, the 5 other ladies who also were national brand ambassadors with me, determined that before we were announced, we had a month and a half that we could prepare and get websites. So that was either hire someone or learn how to do it themselves, right? So what we did, majority of us learned how to do it ourselves. I built my own website. I said, look, it's either you spend the money or you spend the time, and I chose to spend the time. So I built this website, so by the time I got to Essence Festival and everybody started asking me, did I have a website? Which I didn't believe it, but our PR firm, everybody told us, look, you're gonna need a website. Hey, Marcia Johns, thanks for joining me. And so what we did is we were prepared. So before I could call myself a brand, before I could say that I was out there and I was gonna change lives and I was gonna start this business, I had to have a web presence, a website. So I started that. So that's number 1. If you don't have that, then start over. Don't you start a thing until you get a website. And I'm telling you, that could be a basic website with a welcome page, an about me page, a contact page, and maybe a blog. Very basic. Watch YouTube. You can learn anything from there. That's how I learned to use mine or build mine. I built it using YouTube. Hey, B, thanks for joining me. We're talking about the 3 basic things that brands need in order to call themselves a brand. And the first one is having a website. You have to have a web presence because before a business card, I will lose that every single time. I never really hang on to them, but I will remember, hey, they told me they had a website. I put that in my phone. That's where I can go and get everything that I need to know about you. That's the reason why you need to make sure your About Me page and section is on point. Okay, you need to make sure that that is where it needs to be so that you can say, here's my e-card. Go to this website. Go find me at imEbony.com. Everything you need to know about me is there. Okay, I share professional things, coaching, different clients, publications I've been in, where I'm going to be. Thanks for sharing, B. I appreciate it. I share all of that right there. And I even share some of my personal information. So number 1, have a website. Number 2, social footprint. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you why this is important. Next to having a website, this is the second most important thing if you're gonna be a brand. Social footprint. You wanna make sure that not only can I find you on that website, I can see what you do on a daily basis, whether that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, YouTube, whatever social media platform you choose, Tumblr. You want to make sure that I can see, because your proof is in the pudding. I want to see that you interact, you engage, you're organic with that engagement with your audience. I want to see how many people you're reaching and why you're reaching them. So if you tell me, guess what? I'm a national speaker. Well, then your social footprint should show me that. I should have people tweeting you like crazy from a speech that you gave, giving you testimonials right there live on Twitter because they got to experience you speaking. So your social footprint is very important. In order for brands to want to work with you, guess what? You have got, and B, thank you so much for recapping for me. You have got to show them the numbers. That is what they want to see, whether that is and thanks for inviting your tribe, whether that is you being on Twitter and reaching 5,000 or 100,000 or 1 million people. Brands want to know, hey, Coach May, thanks for joining me. Brands want to know, Kish, hey. They want to know that, guess what? If we hire her or if we partner with him, our message is going to reach X amount of people. It's all in the numbers. And only way that you get those numbers up is to engage with people, to show up in that space. Just like on Periscope, the hearts, that heart count, that heart love. I see people celebrating, 100,000, 1 million milestone. You want to know that, guess what? If I hire him to deliver my message, he's going to reach people who interact with him. That is the reason why interaction on any social media platform is important. It's important that you retweet. It's important that you engage. It's important that you heart love it up when you're on Periscope and watching a broadcast that may resonate with you. Don't just sit there and allow that speaker to speak to you without giving them a round of applause. If it resonates with you, otherwise, why are you in the room? If you're not going to take the time to give that heart love, why are you here? You're just soaking up information and not saying thank you. You've got to show your gratitude. And hearts, retweeting, reposting, engaging with the speaker is the same thing you would do in person, but that's a scope for another day. Number 3, clarity. Clarity. While I name this the third, this is still important. It's almost where it should be neck and neck with your website. Because a lot of you, hey, thanks for joining me. Is it AA Slam Bay 27? You guys have some creative names. But I want to tell you that clarity in your brand is very important. That's not saying that somewhere along the way you won't rebrand. You won't recreate some things that you created initially. But you need to be clear on that initial step. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to inspire? Do you want to motivate? Do you want to show people another technique or another way of doing something, another way of being? You have to think about that. And I don't mean clarity in the sense of what color should represent my brand. What logo should I have? I like butterflies. Let me go with butterflies. That's not what I'm talking about, because that's the least of your worries when it comes to a brand. Honestly, the colors, the logo, all those things are a minute point when it comes to being clear on what it is you promise to deliver to other people. That means show up in a space with excellence, know who you're serving, how you're going to show up in that space, and you go for it. But you're clear as you go for it. So, for instance, I knew when starting my company that I wanted to inspire and empower women, right? I wanted to make sure they understood through my experiences that I can be this normal woman with these human mistakes, these human thoughts, where at times I thought I wasn't good enough. At times I thought that, I wouldn't be the one to inspire somebody else, that I would be able to give the advice that other people need to hear and speak from my authentic space. I thought and questioned some of those things, right? But I knew, look, I've got a story to tell. I don't want this to be my own. I don't want that turmoil that I went through not to heal somebody else. So I knew women were for me. Women, as far as, even 18 to 47, that demographic was for me. And I've been able to evolve my brand by saying, okay, well, with My Black is Beautiful and being a national ambassador there in that space, I was able to work with Imagine a Future, which is the young girls, to speak to them about inner beauty and grooming that inner beauty in order to be a beautiful beautiful woman, right? Yes. So that is what I focused on. And from there, it led me to saying, you know what, this brand ambassador role is not just for me. I've been able to marry my HR experience with this opportunity and teach people more about building authentic, organic relationships, right? So I took that opportunity, that one thing that I was doing, and I grew it into building relationships with Huffington Post, P&G Everyday, parenting.com, you name it. I said, you know what? I don't want this opportunity to be a one and done. So I teach people now how to build those relationships, be the bridge in between key influencers and big brands, right? So I'm telling you, in order to be a key influencer, in order to show up and be a brand and have a presence here on any type of platform, is have a website, have social footprint, be clear on what it is you want to deliver and how you're going to show up in that space. Be very, very clear. So those are the 3 things that you must have before you call yourself a brand. And if you don't have those things in order, then stop talking about it and be about it. So that's your information for today. I will see you soon and will bring to you anything else that you want to talk about. I've got a lot of brand things, and I'm going to talk to you about how to engage properly on social, build those relationships that in turn can turn into great partnerships, great joint ventures, things that you can do in person with someone you just met on the web that you maybe just saw a photograph of. You've never seen them in person and spoke to them face to face. But the web has great, great power. Thank you for joining me today. You can find me online at my website, imEbony.com. That's IAMEBONY.com. Or using the hashtags See Yourself Naked or Brand Me Ebony. Blessings to you too, love. Thank you for joining me. And thanks for being here. I love your hearts. They're pink, or magenta rather. It's been a pleasure. I hope you got a lot from this. If you're watching the replay, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you show replay love. It's been a pleasure with being with you guys and teaching you the basics that you need to have in order to call yourself a brand. And as always, deuces, and I'll see you online.